That's why it is not a successful formula for people in drug and alcohol recovery to continue to hang out with the people they used to party with if they want to stay sober. When you evolve, your inner circle must evolve with you. Otherwise, you may subconsciously halt your own growth to avoid outpacing and losing contact with the people who mean a lot to you, but may not be able to hang with you. When there is no one around you who believes in or understands your quest, you must turn your foxhole into a one-man fighting position. That's okay. It is always better to fight alone until you can find people strong enough to fight the good fight with you. There is no time to waste trying to pull dead weight up a hill. I've been there many times, and you must hold out until reinforcements arrive, even if it takes years. Loneliness can be difficult and depleting, but I'd much rather you stay lonely than crawl out of your foxhole and trek back through known territory into the arms of the very people who love the old you and were never comfortable with your transformation. Does this mean you have to end all relationships or burn all bridges? No, not necessarily. But doubters must be kept at arm's length, and anyone in your inner circle must accept you for who you are and who you want to become. This may require an adjustment period, and that is understandable. But within a reasonable amount of time, the men and women in your foxhole must, in their words and actions, give you permission to be you. In 2018, right before I received my VW award, I realized how much I couldn't stand being retired. I spent hours calling old friends and new contacts in the military, looking for a way back in. I considered re-enlisting in pararescue, but remembering how much I loved Ranger School and Delta selection, I thought the Army might be a better fit. So I dropped word that I was interested in enlisting as a 44-year-old grunt. It didn't take long for a recruiter to reach out. He was convinced he could make it happen, but it meant moving to some backwoods Army base for training. Quiche was not thrilled. She'd worked hard and kicked ass in the corporate world for 20 years, and she did not expect to be living on or around an Army base at that point in her life. She damn sure didn't expect me to turn down dozens of lucrative speaking gigs to prepare for a third stint in the military. By then, I was already earning more money for an hour or two of public speaking than I'd earn in a year as a grunt. I found myself walking on eggshells, wondering if the woman I loved would want to stay with me. At the same time, I knew living someone else's idea of my life is a recipe for misery. In the end, for a number of reasons, I didn't re-enlist. I got into wildland firefighting instead. My mission hadn't changed. I was, and still am, trying to become the hardest motherfucker to ever live. That's not an ego trip. It's a way of life. It may be far-fetched and even unachievable, but I remain in service of that vision. Fast forward a few years, and Kish is most definitely foxhole qualified. Now, she is the one who blocks off the fire season entirely and turns down every speaking inquiry that comes in for those months without even asking me, because she understands exactly who I am and what I'm about. She knows what my priorities are and fully supports them without question. She admires that I'm fulfilled by doing things that most people shy away from